It's typically the biggest game of the year in the ACC, but of course, Florida State's been the biggest disappointment in college football here in 2024. Clemson and Florida State. We got Steve Merrill on the line from WagerTalk.com. Steve, Clemson's a 14.5-point favorite on the road, and of course, Clemson seems to have righted some wrongs since that 31-point loss against Georgia.
Yeah, I mean, the big question on this game and any game involving Florida State going forward is, can you trust this team? I mean, talent-wise, this line is insane. I mean, they were favored preseason, and they're a top 10 team. After the two losses, they obviously did not have a lot of motivation. We thought maybe coming out of the bye week would get them going. That didn't make a difference. But I do think now, as I look at my simulations and rankings, and keep in mind, simulations 5 games in for Florida State, these simulations are using a lot of the in-season data, pretty much all in-season data now. And it is showing that this line is inflated. In fact, Florida State was a 4-point favorite this summer in this game. Now they're a 15-point dog. That's a huge difference. My simulation favors Clemson by about 10.5. So, yes, there is value now with Florida State. Can we trust them? I don't think anybody can answer that. But there is still talent. And you also have to think, Mark, if you're going to get up for a game when you know your season's over as a 1-4 team, isn't it probably when you're playing Clemson at home? This is kind of their bowl game. And we talk about rival underdogs in November, and it works because those are teams that have nothing else to play for. Well, that's Florida State. I mean, the way things are going here, if they become bowl eligible, and that's a big if, they might turn it down anyway because it'll be a 6-6 season at best. So this is their bowl game. We're getting some line value. I think this is a week maybe you take a look at the Seminoles.
I've made the same point this week. For as lousy as FSU has looked, they've got comparable talent. They're coming off a 26-point loss against SMU. Maybe that crew looks around the locker room and says, let's give it one go here. We don't like these guys. Their name's Clemson. They got those jerseys, and this is the game we can make it happen and pull it together. You get Steve's array of college football, the NFL, and Major League Baseball at WagerTalk.com. And, of course, the under-the-radar selection is 24-7. Steve's pick each week for the voice of college football, 24-7 against the spread. Check out the ticker below or listen to this to get more. College football is even more exciting with some action on the line. And the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the voice of college football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Let's start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread. I've got a 40-year track record. In fact, in 2023, at $100 played per game, you would have netted over $9,300. And guess what? I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill, our ace in the hole, show stopper from Wager Talk. 6 years with the voice of college football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick, which went 21-5 against the spread the last 2 seasons. I repeat, 21-5 against the spread. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the voice of college football, including Steve Dace and Matt Zemek. Become a YouTube channel member or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2024 a winner now.